what to look for in hiring a good property manager. There are lots of different ways to evaluate property managers. There's lots of different insinuations. Oh, this person was referred to me, or this property manager has good reviews. My realtor is my property manager. And it's very confusing. And there's lots of different voices saying how to choose one. So let me give you some criteria that'll help you evaluate in your choice how to select a good property manager. Anywhere in the United States, in any market, these factors should be true to selecting a good property manager so you can have a well-guided landlord experience. Number one is you want a property manager with experience. You wouldn't want me leading a peaceful diplomatic mission abroad or levying economic sanctions on another country with my experience. You would want me managing properties because I've been doing that for the last 20 years. There is no replacement for the great teacher called experience. I don't fix my own car. I don't self-diagnose my own family medical concerns. I see people who are experienced at doing that for those things. So for property management, look for experience. Experience matters. You don't want your cousin to have the expectation of, because they want to help you, to have to deliver to you this great property management experience for you just because they want to help you. It's also something you're looking for in the value of a property manager is the value of the experience they deliver to their clientele over time, which is a good review comparison. When you're looking at reviews, it gives you a sense of the track record of the property manager. But don't be confused by certain reviews that are sometimes from the tenant, because the property manager's job is to represent the landlord's interests. And sometimes the property manager ruffles the feathers of the tenant in representing the landlord well and generates negative reviews from the tenant. It's not a perfect world. There's going to be negative reviews. Property management wouldn't exist if it weren't for problems. Therefore, being at the center of dealing with solutions to these problems and property management means that there's going to be positive and negative reviews in the solutions that they create and who they represented in creating them. Just make sure that there are more positive reviews from landlords or clientele, that they're not static testimonials from a client from 10 years ago, but that they're active, relevant, recent, relevant to your type of property, your location of property. It's great to have some positive reviews from tenants as well, because they are the customer of the landlord, and a good property manager should be delivering a good customer service experience on behalf of the landlord to the tenant. Reviews aside and experience aside, what are some other ways we can really look at what makes a good property manager? I believe that there is a magic formula to what I call capacity to care. And if you were to be evaluating a private school versus public school for your kids, or if anyone was to make this evaluation, oftentimes the private school says, well, we have a better ratio of staff to students, and we have 11 students per professor. And not only that, but our professors are highly experienced at delivering a great learning experience to your students. And our facilities have great infrastructure. And there's all these wonderful aspects of this private school. And they compare it to the public school, which has a different value experience of maybe more students per teacher, maybe different infrastructure. I'm not making an argument of for or against public schools and private schools as much as use a similar evaluation to criteria for your property manager. How many properties are they managing per staff member? Is it 200 properties per property manager? You're not going to get as much attention, or they won't have as much capacity to care about you and your property as a property manager that's managing 30 properties per property manager. And of course, what is also relevant is the infrastructure supporting those property management processes, and also the experience of the personnel serving within that structure. So the infrastructure, the ratio of what we call a capacity to care ratio is very relevant to your ultimate experience as a landlord. So keep capacity to care in mind, the experience of your property manager in mind. Whatever proactive processes that they have is very important, as well as metrics. The reason it's so important to ask for metrics from your property manager, it's less important as what the actual statistics are, and more important that your property manager cares to measure them. If they're not measuring the factors of their success for their clients, they're not getting better at them. If they don't care to measure them, how do they know whether they're doing a good job for you or not? Ask them, on average, what is your average rent that you receive? What is your average time on the market for the properties that you advertise for rent? What are your average repair work order processes, the time a tenant calls in a repair to the average time to closing it out? How long does it take you on average to complete those repairs, work orders? What's the average cost per work order? All of these different metrics, the more specific you can be, you'll either give some insight to your property manager as to what's really important to you in managing your home, but you'll also get a sense from them of, do they even know, or are they even measuring what are the factors that they can be successful for you? And are they getting better at that every year or every day? Or do they not even know how to get better at that every day? So you want someone who measures their own performance in serving you, and you'll get a good sense of that when you ask them some specific questions related to their metrics that are relevant to you. It's a capacity to care, it's the experience they deliver, it's proactive processes and property management. And ultimately, the more questions you ask, the more information you'll have to decide on what is a good fit for you. But if you don't interview, or if you rely on the cousin that says, or the realtor that says, I'd love to help you, you might be missing out on the ultimate value of the experience, or what is the choice that'll really optimize your outcome based on someone volunteering for the job, as opposed to you interviewing professionals to support you in that job.